Hi everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here with me. We're going to make some heart-themed, love-themed projects today, and it's the first week of a series of a 4-week series, and each week I'm going to feature a different stamp set or bundle in the Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog, January through April Mini Catalog. And a same basic set of supplies like the DSP, the ribbon, the gems might not change very much, but the projects will change every week depending on the stamps that we're using. So before we get started here, I just have to, hi Kelly, I just have to make sure my laptop is showing the video so I can see your comments. It's the only place where your comments come up, because on my phone that I'm using to film with, it'll be turned upside down so you can see the project. Okay, so there we go. I see Kelly's comment. Hi. So when you come on, say hi, even if it's you're watching replay or you're watching on YouTube. I would love to have you say hello and maybe where you're from, and then I can get to know you a little bit. I always go back and check my comments both on Facebook Live on my post and also on YouTube. So thanks for being with me today. I'm up on my laptop here, and already my laptop image has frozen because I don't know why. There we go. Now it's going. And then I just have to get my iPad's in front of me too. Sorry, I'm so close to the camera, but that's where I can see what you are actually seeing. I can see that on my laptop too, but I have to turn and look at, whereas my iPad's right in front of me. Okay, we're ready. So let's go ahead and get this party started. And let me turn the camera down. So I'm going to click on a little tool here that will let me go. I'll be upside down, but you'll see right side up. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get this turned down. Let me adjust. It takes a moment always for Facebook Live to catch up with where I've actually moved the camera. Looks like we're super crooked here. Let's go this way. See if that's better. Might have gone the wrong way. No, I went the right way, so that's good. Okay, we're pretty good. Let me move my stuff a bit. Okay, my friends, today we're going to focus on the Country Bouquet bundle and suite of products. So if you have a mini catalog, it's on page 8, and page 8 tells you that this is the Country Floral Lane Suite collection, because there's a lot in this suite. We're going to use most everything that's in this suite, even today. So the stamp set, you can see up close and personal a little bit more on the next page, and then it combines with the punch. So the bundle itself is the stamp set plus the punch, which I'll show you today, and that number is 160383 on page 10 of your mini catalog. If you don't have a mini catalog or you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you out. Just let me know, and I'll get in touch with you, and we'll make sure you get a catalog. Okay, we're ready to go here. Oh, before we do, I did want to show you my upcoming class. Tomorrow is the last day to register for this. So this is my By the Bay, Seaside Bay. Can't even think of what I called it, but it's okay. Let's just do this right. Let's go ahead and let's just look this up so that it's either By the Bay or Seaside Bay, I think. It looks like it's gonna be Seaside. Let me just find it here quick. Yep, Seaside Bay. It's on page 32 of the catalog. Nope, wrong. Seaside Bay. Yeah, page 23. I have a little dyslexia. Every once in a while, I'll turn around the numbers. I was really anxious to play with this suite of products. I know it's winter for a lot of us that are in the Midwest or North America, but you know, there's a lot of people that are going to Florida for part of the winter, or Arizona, but I was thinking ocean. So I thought, let's make some cards with the ocean in mind. So this class, you get all the supplies for these 5 cards. I have everything die cut for you and cut, including the designer paper. I can't send any stamped images, so you get all the supplies for this. You get a pack of the flat adhesive-backed pearls, and you get a half a pack of the By the Sea paper. What's this called? By the Bay 6x6. So this is that paper. Just show it to you really quick. And this all for $35. Now, if you need it shipped, it is more for shipping, $10 for shipping. Here's the back of these. So the back side of this has either iridescent or shiny gold patterns. So it's a good value for $35, and if you need it shipped, it's still a good value because you get a lot of stuff and you get a lot of products to continue to make more projects with. Oh, and the ribbon. So, and a spool of this beautiful pool party ribbon. We're going to use this today too, so you get to see how pretty it is. I will put a link in the, hang on, let me get this pulled up. I will put a link to an email that describes that class, so that if you're interested in it, and then you can just click on the link to register for it within the email. There'll be a link there. So I'm going to copy that and put that in the messages. Hi, Christy. Oh, thanks for sharing, Kelly. So here's the link to the Seaside Bay class, or By the Bay. I really enjoyed thinking about warmer weather and being by the ocean when creating that class. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, the link for that registration for the class will be in the video description, where you click more, or the little carrot that goes down, then you'll get to the right page. All right, let's go ahead and make some stuff. So this is the bundle that we're going to use today. It's called Country Bouquet, as I showed you in the catalog. And this phone's still a little bit crooked and it's kind of bugging me. I don't know, I might go the wrong way. It's got the punch, which punches all these things out, and a lot of stamps. So we're going to use this today and make some fun stuff with it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to make is a fancy fold card, and I'm going to show you how to make this. I'm digging in my box for all the right supplies. So here we go. And let me get the card out itself so I can, this is what we're making. So, and this is what it looks like from the top. So I'm going to give you these directions, but if you purchase $35 or more, you're going to get all the card supplies for the 4 projects that we're going to make today. If you put in a purchase using this host code, or the link with that host code, I'll put that in the descriptions too. Hi Barb, yeah, that paper is so pretty. You'll get, with a $35 order, you get all the supplies that I'm making today. You'll get the PDF tutorial. So I've just started this. I don't have it completed, but this is what my tutorials look like. I have to add the other 3 projects to this, but this is what they look like. So I give you all the description of what I'm using, the number and the price of it. So when you're shopping, that makes it really easy. And then all detailed instructions, and then detailed photos too. So for a $50 order, you get the PDF tutorial. For a $75 order, you get all the card supplies. Well, and also for a $50 order, you get a celebration choice. So let's start over. $35 purchase gets you all the product supplies. A $50 purchase gets you the PDF, a celebration product, and all the project supplies. A purchase of $75 or more gives you all of that plus these gems, Pastel Adhesive-backed Sequins, and I'll send these to you separately if you order online, or you can send me your order and I'll put it in for you. We're going to use these today. These are all products that we're using today. So that special is good through Saturday, January, I want to say 21. January 21, let's see if that's, yeah. So today is the 18th through the 21st, that special is going on. And you have to use this host code, or let me put in the comments, and again on YouTube, I'll put it in the video description. I'll give you the link with the host code embedded. So let me put that in the comments. So if you're watching replay on Facebook, then you'll have to scroll through the comments to find it, but it'll be there. So let me go ahead and put that in, the shopping link. Okay, I think everything's set now. Let's go ahead and make this. So for this, you need a piece of cardstock, whatever color you're using, obviously, 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And then I have scored this at, let me show you, so this is, hopefully this is in the screen. Let me move this up and hopefully it's there. So 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And I've scored it at 1/2, 1 1/2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that'll all be in your PDF if you put in an order for $50 or more. And then let me show you how to make this. So we're going to put a piece of DSP. This is gonna all, let's fold this first so you can see what's gonna happen here. So this tab is the tab that we're gonna use our adhesive on. You do wanna, when you're doing 3D or fun fold cards, you do wanna use your bone folder to make sure all your creases are really, really good. And so this is what we're doing like this. See how this is going to go? Well, it's not cooperating right now, but that's how that's going to go. So we're going to take our piece of DSP, which would basically be the inside of the card. You know, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put this down, but let's do some stamping on the back, because that is where you will write your message to your people. So that you're sending this to. This is, we're going to put Happy Valentine's Day on the outside. So let's put something like, we need another greeting for this. Let's gonna want to say, just wanted to say, and then maybe I love you, which I don't have mounted yet, but let's just go ahead and, or let's put with love. Do I have that on something already? Probably do. No, it doesn't look like I do, so let's get that out. With love. Sorry, I should have had this done. I wasn't thinking about the back. So we'll leave that off. We'll get a block. And I made a lot of this particular fold. We did fun folds with my team this month, so all of their make and takes. I had 4 make and takes, and they were all fun folds. And so I got pretty fast at making these. It might look like it's complicated, but it really isn't. All right, so you have to imagine that this is the inside normally of your card, but for this particular card, it's going to be on the back. So let's just go ahead and do With Love in Strawberry Sorbet. I'm going to call this color Strawberry Sorbet all of my life. It's Sweet Sorbet. With Love. Let's put it kind of like here. And then we've got some little dots. So let's, hi Mary Kay, thanks for sharing. That's so nice of you. And I think I saw Diane. Diane, I don't think I said hello to you. Let's go With Love with the little hearts. And then we've got a little something, you know, on the, what would normally be the inside of our card. But then we have an extra little greeting right here. Guys, I'm sorry for making so much racket. I can hear how loud I am in the video. Closing packets or closing my cleaning pad and all that stuff. Okay, so that's that. So I wanted to catch that. You could do it later, but once you've got this fold into place, it's going to be a little bit hard. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our other strip of Designer Series paper, and it's the same pattern as this one, and this is 1 inch by 4 inches, I think. Let me check it, but I'm pretty sure. Nope, 1 1/4 by 4. So let me go ahead and get that on. You want to get all your DSP on before you start folding up your card. And it goes on this widest panel. So you've got this lip that we're going to glue, and then you've got like about 1 inch here and about 1 inch here. The wider one is about 1 1/4 inch, so we're going to go ahead and, or maybe 1 1/2 inch even, doesn't matter. You want it on this, the middle one, so it folds like this. Make sense? All right, now for this card, I'm going to use, well, I'm not going to use liquid glue but I would normally, if I were making this to send in the mail, which this will go to someone in my family, I would use, for the sake of video, I'm not going to use Tombow, but I will use Tombow for now. And now I'm going to fold this over like so. Can you see where this is? Here's that tab. Here's the next little section. I'm just going to fold this like, let's see if I've got this right. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to fold this over like this and press it down. And then we know it's right in the right place. So see how we did that? And it's perfect right here. So, but I would use Tombow on that. When you're at home making these cards for your family and friends, I would use Tombow on it. Okay, then we have another little section here that we have to take care of. Let's go ahead and build this. This piece, we're going to use the green check actually on the outside. So this piece is, let's go ahead and review that. This is 3 by 5, and I've scored it at, see, am I in the picture? I've scored it at 1/2 and 1 1/2. So 3 by 5 for the cardstock and score at 1/2 and 1 1/2. Okay, so now let's go ahead and crease those. We've got that 1/2 inch tab again on this piece. I'm not seeing your comments, so if you're commenting, I'm just really sorry. I don't think my computer's keeping up. Sometimes it happens on Facebook Live. Okay, so now we're going to again do our DSP before we do any of our putting together of the card. This DSP is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Yes. Nope. 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. Again, this will all be in your PDF. Just lots of times it's easier to have a PDF. You know, actually, before we finish this, we are going to do our stamping because I think it'll be easier to put our card together. So now for this card, I have used my Stamparatus and I already have this set up. So, because I'm using this for a class this weekend. So let me show you how I have this. It's going to be hard to get this whole thing in the video, I think. But what I did first was I put down a piece of white cardstock, pretend that hole's not there yet. And then I stamped my image. And then it's a 2-step stamping, so then I did my other color coming this way. Hopefully you can see that. Looks like you can. Not very well, but it looks like you can. And then I cut out the circle exactly where those stamps were so that I could always be in the same place when I was stamping my image. So I want to just double check that my corners are all abutted with, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, lined up with this corner. So then I'm going to put my circle in, and I'm going to put my heart's going to go here, so I know on this side that it's not going to interfere with my stamping. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do, I'm going to put, I know that that cleaning pad's really a hot mess, but let's go ahead and we're going to do Sweet Sorbet. I'm sorry, you guys, I can't see any comments. So the last one I see is Mary Kay saying she shared it. So I'm going to refresh my computer again and make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, so let's go ahead and going to ink up the flower part of our two-step stamp. Then let's go ahead and stamp it. And I think that's pretty good. This image particularly is, it's kind of muted. Well, we might stamp it one more time. Looks like maybe those little flowers at the bottom didn't get inked, but it is shaded. I don't know what a better word to say. It's kind of, you know, there's some light and dark places on the stamp itself, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Now, before we go on, I'm going to grab my chamois and clean off this stamp before we get that ink all over everything. Okay, then for this guy, I'll turn this, hopefully you can see this in the video. I know there's so much glare because of the acrylic plates, but at least you can get the idea of what I'm doing. Then I'm going to take Mint Macaron, because that's the color of our DSP, and I'm going to ink up the leaves and the other greenery with Mint Macaron, and then I've already got this in the right place, so it should stamp where it's supposed to. Yeah, and it did, but we'll go ahead and just for security, we'll go ahead and do a second one. That's the beauty of the Stamparatus, is that if you're not happy with the solidity of your stamp itself, or the image, I mean, you can go over it, and then you've got it just the way you want it and have it look really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And then we've got our main image. Then we need to take out our punch that we're using today, this Bouquet punch. And we're going to grab a little piece of Sweet Sorbet cardstock. And we're just going to go down here and punch out a little heart. We're going to do that quite a bit on these projects today. I love having a heart punch. I just really, really love it. Then our greeting, all we need for our greeting is a strip of, with basic white, I still want to call it Whisper White, that's a 1/2 inch by however long. It doesn't have to be, I just have a lot of these strips, so I don't usually shorten them until I'm ready to stamp my greeting. So let me go ahead and grab that Sweet Sorbet back. Thanks for sharing, Diane. That's so nice. Linda, I'm stamping the heart in Sweet Sorbet, the flowers, and then the leaves are in Mint Macaron. So those are my two colors for my heart. And this is how they look when they're stamped together. Okay, Sweet Sorbet is the red and Mint Macaron is the green. Alrighty, so then we're going to go back to the Sweet Sorbet for our greeting. And we'll get it inked up. And this, as I said, this strip is about 1/2 inch, and then the length doesn't matter because we're going to trim it to the way we want it anyway. I do want room for my little heart. So, Kathy, thanks for sharing. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here today. Okay, so I do want room for this little heart. So I think what I'll do actually is just go ahead and put it on like so. I might need a smaller dimensional. We'll see. No, I think that'll work. Okay. We'll get this on here. I like to do my greetings like this. A lot of times you just can't find a die that exactly fits your greeting, especially these long skinny ones. So I take my 1/2 inch strips, whoops, my Stampin' Up ones, and then I'm just going to give it a little slice like this, and over here I'm going to do the same. And then we've got our greeting ready. Okay, now we're ready to put this all together. Let's grab our things we already prepared, and then I'll show you how to do this part. So this part is going to glue here, so it's going to go down like this, and then you also need glue along the edge of this. For this part, I am going to do Tombow liquid adhesive glue because I might want to move this a little bit. This isn't, again, if you need to recrease your score lines, it helps your card bend the way you want it to bend. Remember with Tombow, less is more because it'll squeeze out, which we don't want. And then for the other adhesive, I'm just going to use regular adhesive. So this is going to go like that. So I want this adhesive right on the edge of this strip. Now, for putting this down, I kind of have to figure out where I'm going to line this up. And I think I came down, I know I told you I've been making a lot of these, but I'm going to just gently, I'm not going to push that down too hard because I want it to, sorry guys, I think it'll be easier. I know I said I had made a lot of these, and I have. Let me grab my sample. I think I came down like about an inch, maybe. That's what we're gonna hope that's right. Go ahead and put that down. Okay, and then this is gonna come up like this. You know, that's too far. What did I do here? Sorry, I'm not helping you much. This part, I think this needs to come closer here. Yeah, there we go. And then we've got this lined up. And it's not straight. Oh gosh, I made a lot of these, but I know it doesn't seem like I did because it's going kind of wacky. Anyway, push down there. What's going on is I have a little bit of glue on this side. Okay, that's still not right. Let's just go ahead and lift this up and put this so it's straight up and down. So you do come down with that, with this edge about an inch, and then it'll come, when you bring it up, then it'll be straight. Make sense? Sorry, my brain wasn't really working on that part. But it's not hard. That's how it's, and this will sit up so people can put this on their desk and they can enjoy it. Then we're going to have our heart. We're just going to put that in the middle of this little section on the front. But you can see now why we did the stamping on the back first, so that, you know, all this would be hard to, it would be hard to stamp a greeting later. And then let's go ahead and put our greeting here. Because of the way the card is. That will be a lot of layers to stamp through if you were waiting till the end to put your greeting on. So then we're going to get this down here. And then we're going to grab our gems and our pastel adhesive back. Pam, hi. That's okay. Yeah. Hi, Donna. Sure, you can watch the replay later. That's the beauty of Facebook Live. And then I do upload to YouTube too. When you're looking for me on YouTube, though, you can't find me on Create with Joy. It's in there, but somehow it just doesn't bring it up until after you find me. So I'm going to put some pastel, these pink ones, I think, right here. You have to look for Joey Hartman, Stampin' Up, and then you'll find me. I'm gonna have I'm meeting with a web designer person. I'm gonna have her help me with that so people can find me under Create with Joy. But there's our sweet little card. I don't know what this is called. This fold is called. If anybody knows what this card is, the fold particular is called, let me know. Put it in the comments so people know. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Linda. Pam, I am feeling better. Thank you. For those of you that might not know, I was in the hospital 5 days with COVID just before Christmas. No fun at all. So now this does fit. Sometimes you have to push it down, you know, and kind of make those folds do what you want them to do. And then you can fit it in a regular size envelope. Well, it looks like I need to trim off my greeting just a touch here. So let me do that. So it doesn't go past the edge of the card. You know, sometimes we have to improvise, don't we? Okay, so this will go in your card, your envelope. And that's all set for a Valentine. And it's really not even too bulky. I probably will put an extra stamp on this. But yeah, it probably would be safer. I would definitely put an extra stamp or put a 1 ounce stamp on it. That's what I actually usually do. Okay, there's that one. Then I'm going to show you when I did my catalog walkthrough, the new mini catalog walkthrough with all my samples and all my product that I had to show. I showed a little candy box that one of my team had demonstrated at our meeting this month. So, and there was a lot of discussion about that little box. So I'm going to make it for you today so you can see it. I thought I had the directions down here with me, but I had them upstairs for the writing the PDF, but I'll tell you the sizes. So this is 3 by 7. This is petal pink. Can you see? Keep having to kind of move. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to make a camera adjustment so that we don't have to keep worrying that you can't see what I'm showing. So I'm going to raise my camera a touch. Don't look if you get seasick because it's going to be moving around some. Okay, so let's see if I'm still on the camera. It'll take a minute for me to get it adjusted. So there we go. Come out like this just a touch more. There we go. Now maybe you can, well, you still can't see. All right. This is 3 by 7 and I scored at, gosh, I can't see my score lines. Hang on here. I'm going to put it this way. I scored at 1 7/8. Is that right? No, stop. That's 1 3/8. 1 7/8. 1 7/8 was right, but I skipped the 1 3/8. 3 1/4 and 3 3/4. So that's how I did that part. Okay. Now this is super easy. So we're going to do what we did on the last project, where we're going to put our designer series paper on this back panel. So this designer series paper is, oh, thank you, Jean. Thank you, Linda. I am feeling better. I have what's known as long COVID. So I've continued to have symptoms like coughing and fatigue. This is, let me get to this, 2 7/8 by 3. And that goes here on this panel. Yeah, I just was one of those lucky people that it just wanted to hang on and hang on. And headaches. I had a headache every morning and every evening. But I'm better. I still have a little cough left over, and I have see, I'm gonna get this out here and let me think. This goes on this panel. So a little cough, a slight headache once in a while, and I still have some fatigue, but you know, I'm so much better. So I'm pretty much back to normal. I do quit earlier in the afternoon and I rest. This is going to go like, can you see how this is going to go? It's going to come like this. So before I get that far, I'm going to put my other piece of coordinating DSP. This is, I don't know, this is 1 1/4 by 2 7/8. All this will be in the PDF that you'll get if you spend $50 or more with me with this host code, or the host code's embedded in the link I put in the comments if you've missed that part. Okay, now I'm going to get these all folded up here. Really good. In fact, actually, before I put the rest of this together, I think it might be easiest. No, let's go ahead. It'll be okay. So this folds up like this. So I'm going to put my adhesive this time back here. Okay, so can you see how this goes? So this is on one side, but on the other side is where that longer panel is that you put this in. It's on the two sides. Here's a 1/2 inch, here's a 1/2 inch, and then this is a bigger one in the middle. And these hearts have directions, so you have to be, if you have something that has directions, you'll just have to make sure you are careful with that. So then we're going to just fold this all up. And this panel comes all the way down to that first score line, like this. Okay? This is a really easy little treat. She made them for all of our team, and then she demonstrated it. We have demonstrations every month. We do our team meetings on Zoom and in person, so everybody gets to participate. All right, so then the next part is we use the DSP and the punch, because the punch you can punch out, you know, this whole group of images. So you've got the heart, the 2 leaves, 2 hearts and 2 leaves. So we're going to punch those out. And then let's go ahead and we'll assemble this. So we're just going to take a mini glue dot, and oh, thanks, Mary Kay. I'm trying to be pretty careful. It kind of scared me, honestly. You know, we don't think we're, yeah, that's how I want those. I don't know, you just go along with normal life until you don't, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is serious. I have a heart condition. It's not, I get symptoms of a heart attack, but it isn't a heart attack. But they have to treat it like a heart attack until they know it isn't. So a lot of the same testing for blood testing and monitoring my heart and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I was in the hospital for 5 days. It wasn't for congestion or that I couldn't breathe. I never had any respiratory issues. It was just my heart. So, and then after a couple of days, I felt a lot better. But something in my kidneys wasn't right. There was an imbalance there. So they kept me another couple of days to make sure my kidneys were doing what they were supposed to do. But that's all gone. It's all better. My kidneys were better after that 5th day, and then I had to go back a week later to the clinic to get retested, my blood tested again, and everything was normal. And my cardiologist thinks my heart is back to normal too. And my echocardiogram is in about a week and a half, so then we'll know for sure. That's all information you probably really didn't need to know, but now you know it. All right, I'm going to take another 1/2 inch strip, and what I'm going to do with this is, now what candy did she put in this? She put Hershey's Nuggets, and I thought I had a whole pack of Hershey's Nuggets, and I can't find it. So, but it fits these really, really well. So I'm going to put through. You could put like a mini Hershey's bar, but then I would put a mini glue dot in it on them to hold them into place. So let's we're going to make a Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, if I can find it. Here it is. But before we do that, I'm going to take my Banners Pick-a-Punch. This is called the Banners Pick-a-Punch, and I've got a 1/2 inch piece of petal pink, and I'm gonna I have a long piece on purpose because it's hard to, if your cardstock is short, it's hard to manage it in here because you kind of have to check and make sure it's lined up with that flag where you want it. Then what I do is then I stamp my greeting. Hi, Pam. Hi, Cheryl. That's okay. You can always go back and watch the replay, which I know you know that because you do that sometimes. Okay, happy Valentine's Day. Sweet Sorbet ink on petal pink cardstock. Since I'm stamping on a colored cardstock, I'm going to hold this down just a few seconds longer than I normally would so you get a good image. The basic white cardstock is made to really absorb ink. So the colored cardstock, it just takes a few seconds longer to really absorb the ink. So that's just a tip that might help you. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. Oh, I'm just going to guess here. But then I'll flag the other end. Grab my punch back. We'll go in from here. Now Sherry, my teammate that made this card, she, getting it lined up again, trying to get it centered. Oh, I got that a little close, but that's okay. She used a die. I'll show you hers. So this is hers. She also used Blushing Bride instead of Petal Pink, which I think actually does match this stripe better, which is why I went to the gingham, because I felt like this stripe didn't match the Petal Pink. Can you see that? Then she used a die, but she did a fancy schmancy way of elongating this die, and I didn't think I would take the time on a video that's already going to have 4 projects in it to do that. So I'm doing it the easier and faster way. So then we're going to just take our dimensionals. COVID heart, 6 or 7 months. Then he's been fined. Oh my goodness. You know, my heart condition is called Takotsubo syndrome, is the actual name of it, so no one remembers that. But it's where your heart gets stunned and part of it quits functioning normally. Just the part of it. Let's put some gems on here. And then it returns to normal, usually within a couple weeks, sometimes a couple months. Mine usually rebounds pretty fast. So my doctor, my cardiologist, thinks it's already back to normal, so hopefully she's right. Let's grab some more gems here. But COVID can affect your heart. What happened with me is, you're getting all the nitty-gritty details, which some of you probably already know. These are those Pastel Adhesive-backed Sequins that you'll get with a $75 order. I was just throwing up so hard, it triggered my heart, which is what happened the first time I got sick with it and ended up in the hospital. I just had a sudden attack of having to throw up, and that's what happened with my COVID. I got flu symptoms. I thought I had the flu. So when I went to the urgent care, and they said, you don't have the flu, you have COVID. Because I had flu symptoms, you know, for the most part. Anyway, long story longer. It's what triggered my heart. And started the whole thing, you know. So that, who knows what part of that was related to COVID or not. I don't know. This is Real Red. This is a ribbon combo, Real Red and burlap ribbon. It's part of that same suite. I'm just going to tie a bow here. And it's a nice size. It's not too tiny, but it's small enough that it fits in small places. And we want this particular one to fit in a small space. But this is a really easy project. You can make, oh gosh, I twisted my ribbon. You can make quite a few of these in a short amount of time. Sherry was here yesterday helping me prepare for my creative escape this weekend. And I told her, you know, I said, your little project got a lot of interest on when I did my Facebook Live last week, so I'm going to show them how to make it this week. And she said, oh my gosh, that little thing, it goes so fast and doesn't take any time at all. I said, well, yeah, I know, but people need projects like that. That's the kind we want, especially if we're mass producing. So I'm going to I think that's okay. It might be a little big. You might want to make it just a tad bit smaller. But we're going to go with it so we can get this project done and move on to our next one. And I'm looking for my mini glue dots. Which I think when I'm talking to you and telling you stuff, you know, I can't do two things at once. So I can't even see where they are. Well, for Pete's sakes, here they are. They were not where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to put this on a mini glue dot and just squeeze it off like, well, I'm going to take my tool. So grab my take your pick tool for this. I like this tool for this. And pick off my ribbon. And then we're just going to set that kind of right below, above that greeting. And there's your little project. Here's Sherry's original one. And here's mine. And I had to use her Hershey's Nuggets until I find mine. She didn't have gems on hers, but you know, the bling. You know me and bling, we gotta have a little bling. Right, Diane? Are you still watching me? Thank you for the hearts, you guys. You're just so sweet. Okay, so that's that one. Alrighty, let's move on. So that's our second project. Let's do our next one. This is, okay, this one was another one that had a lot of interest on my Facebook Live. And I'll show you how I made this. So let me show you both cards. This is the one, thank you, Kelly. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Barb. I know nuggets are the best, and you can get the ones that have all the flavors in the pack. So this is my swap card. I showed this on my Facebook Live. This is Heather Guerrero's swap card. Her, and why I had the interest on this was this die. Now, I don't have this die. I did order it. I had hoped it would be here for today. It isn't here yet. I think they're way behind on getting out orders. With Celebration, a lot of people are ordering. So I did a little, I changed up a few things with what I had, and I'll show you how I made mine. So we're going to take, the first thing I did was, so this was a piece of cardstock that was 4 by 5 and a 4 by 5 and a quarter, and I cut it, you know, just on the diagonal from corner to corner to get this. Now this is the bottom part of it, and we're going to use the top part, but that's how I basically did that. So now we're going to grab our card base is Mossy Meadow, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So that's this part. Then I've got a layer of white. And actually, for this card, when I looked at my sample, I thought I think we need more contrast here. We'll try it. Although I think this is 4 by 5 1/4, and I think we're gonna knock that down by 1/8 of an inch. Let me grab my trimmer. I think we need it just a little skinnier to have the effect. I probably won't be in the camera. Well, let me come down. I'll cut from the top. So this is exactly 4, so I'm going to come down just 1/8 of an inch there to make this just a little bit thinner border. I love this cutter because look, it cuts that skinny of a piece with no problem. It's just like butter. Then this is 5 1/4 this way right here, so I'm going to come down 1/8 of an inch again, and we're going to cut that. And I think that will have more visual beauty than that wider border. I didn't really like that. Then this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and assemble this part of it. Let's go ahead and put our. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I think you were watching, weren't you, on when we went through the catalog, and there was a lot of discussion about that die. I had looked at that die in the catalog multiple times. They looked like they were so narrow. I couldn't quite figure out how it worked. But then I got this card, and I didn't have any cards, you know, made with it before I got Heather's card. Then I took the scallop from the Scallop Contours dies, and I might not have it on my desk. Yes, I do have it. So it's this set of dies, and it's I use these all the time. I use this die constantly, but this is, and I use this all the time too. But this is a die that I use for that, so you can see how that works. So I thought, you know, it was a good alternative. It's not as pretty as the see-through one that we all thought was so pretty on Heather's card, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead, and this is going to be flat too. Just going to get some adhesive on this guy, and then we will go ahead and I'm going to line this up right at the corners of the white, just like so, like that. Okay, then let's go ahead and make the rest of our card. So I already did the die cutting with my Stylish Shapes circle, and I've got, this is Stylish Shapes label. And then I already punched, let me dump out my stuff here. What else do I have? Okay, so I punched one Sweet Sorbet heart. We're going to go back to our DSP and grab that sheet, and then we're going to punch out another set of images. So you get quite a few out of this DSP. I'm just going to line this up here. Hopefully I'm in the camera. Line it up so I get both hearts and both leaves. Whoops. Trying to not get my head in the middle of this. All right, there we go. And we'll just dump all that up on our workspace. And let's grab these guys. For this one now, the first thing I have to do is to do our greeting. So for this one, we're just going to do, just wanted to say, and we're going to go back to Sweet Sorbet because it matches the hearts are all Sweet Sorbet in this designer series paper. Oh shoot, darn it, I had ink on my finger. Well, let's just turn it over, it's okay. Just wanted to say, here we go. And usually I die cut more than one piece if I'm going to stamp straight on it, but I mean, I would have made another label, but I just didn't. I didn't think about it. So we're going to go with the back of it, but it's okay. That happens sometimes. Then these two little leaves, we're going to put them on the label itself. So I'm going to go back to my mini glue dots. Thanks, Kelly. Did I emboss the DSP as it looks crosshatched? This DSP, Kelly? No, that's actually, or I mean, Kathy, that's actually the paper. Can you see that those little squares are in the DSP itself? So no, I didn't emboss that. But now we're going to go to, gosh, these leaves and get them attached to each other. So I'm grabbing a mini glue dot and I'm going to put this guy like this. Then I'm going to grab another mini glue dot, and then we're going to stick this to the back. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I think for this, I'm going to, well, I do still need a glue dot, but I'm going to stick it right down to the card itself, or to the circle. I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to come down here about, let's see, maybe about here. Again, this would be a pretty fast card. I mean, this die cutting is a little extra step, so you might be thinking, I'm not going to press that too hard because I might want to move it. You know how that goes sometimes. In fact, I think I do. I want to up a little higher. So mini glue dots hold really well, but if you don't, well, this is holding pretty well. If you don't stick them down, I'm kind of gently pulling that too hard. You can usually move them, although that one didn't really want to move too much. Thanks, Kelly. I'm glad you think the scallops look nice. I thought it was a good substitute. We will use that die when it comes. We'll use it on a different card, and so you can see it in action. I think if I'd have seen that die in action on a video, I would have ordered a long time ago because I've looked at it several times. Okay, we've got this here. Then we're going to go with this heart. We're going to put the heart up here on our card. So I'm going to take a couple of dimensionals. I like to use 2 on most everything because I think it gives a little more stability. And we're going to stick this kind of here, like so. Then we'll take this red heart. I should have put this down first. Well, let's sneak it in there. It'll be okay. This I'm going to just put adhesive on because it's going to be flat. You could put a glue dot on that too. I'm going to kind of stick this up here like so, fairly high. And then this little die we'll put with the dimensional too. And we'll stick this guy kind of right here. Kind of want to cover up where they go together. Okay, let's see. I know I'm putzing with this. You wouldn't have to putz as much as I'm putzing. So then we've got like this little bundle of stuff. But what I started to say is this would not be a really time-consuming project because you're doing all this punching. All that's punched. So all you'd have to die cut is your label and the scallop. And obviously that takes a little longer because you're going to cut a diagonal when you're in that layer. But not that long. You know, some of us putz for a long time on stuff. Go ahead and... I'm putting dimensionals where they're not on the front so that I don't have them right underneath each other. You won't be able to tell that from the video, but that's why I'm kind of feeling along on that circle, on the circle itself, to see where the dimensionals are on the front. Then we're going to go ahead and, hey, before we do that, let's put it on our card. So we're going to, got distracted, so I got to think what I'm doing here. The other thing I want to do before I get my card completely done is I want to stamp on the inside panel. So we'll put an inside panel. Sorry guys, I have these in my drawer ready to grab and there was a bunch of stuff on top of them. So because we just wanted to say on that part, we need I love you on the inside. So let's go ahead and put that on. I'm going to grab my, I kind of need my stamps lined up square on the block, otherwise it kind of drives me crazy. So I use my grid paper for that. And then I've got my block, and then just let's go I love you. And so I'm getting a lot of my Valentine cards and projects done today. I don't send a lot of Valentine cards. I send them to my brother and sister-in-law in Colorado, and my niece and nephew in Colorado. And that's really, well, my mother-in-law here in Lincoln, too. Whoops. Ooh, I didn't get that. So I'm going to try and line this up. See if I can get that. Not exactly, but it's okay. We'll go with it. All right. There we go. Thanks, Libby. Alrighty, so let's get this on the inside. Grab our Moxie met, or our insert on the inside of our card. This will be 4 by 5 1/4. Now we're ready. Got this all ready to go. And we'll just kind of put this in the corner here. And here you have my case of Heather's card. Let's get some gems. Gotta have the gems. Not sending out any cards without bling. Okay, Libby, that's okay. You can always watch replay and come back. Thanks, Mary Kay. I'm glad you are getting some ideas. So let's go ahead. I think I'll use pink again. Took me a while to use these pink ones. I felt like they were not petal pink. They're supposed to be petal pink, but they're a little pinker than petal pink. Petal pink is really peach, honestly. I feel like it is. Put up a gem there. And just wanted to say I love you for Valentine's Day. So didn't that turn, I thought it turned out pretty cute with the scallop. But as I said, we will we'll explore that die when I get it. So here's the first one I made, and I didn't put the red border. Oops, this is crooked. I didn't put the sweet sorbet border around that one. And after I looked at my photos of it, I thought, I think it should have had a border. What do you think? Put in the comments whether you like the sweet sorbet border or you like the white border. So I would like to know. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. So here's Heather's card. And then my two. But it's not the same effect, but you kind of have the same overall idea. Alrighty. So let me know whether you like the red border or the white border, and I'll get my last project ready. I'm just about got all the projects done. Okay. Grab all the stamps. For this one, we're going to do a little more stamping. And just a heads up for next week. We're going to use this set next week in our Facebook Live. I'll have 3 cards, not these 3 obviously, but 3 cards, different cards, and a 3D. So we're going to use this little Love Cats next week. Kind of excited to play with that. I haven't made anything with it yet. Okay, let me get out my card parts for this last card. And this one is also easy, and it's also something you could use for your scraps of paper. And I did literally that. I took out scraps of paper to make this card. So this is your basic white thick. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I've got a piece of petal pink that is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. So that's a little bit different measurement. And then my designer series paper is cut 1 inch by, it would be the same, 1 by 4, I think. Nope. 1 by 4.5. Yep, 1 by 4.5. And we're just going to get this designer paper down here. Although we're not using that side. We're going to use the green. I don't think I grabbed the right paper. That's all right. We'll make it work with these 3. I needed a petal pink one. Let me grab petal pink, you guys. I don't know about this. So literally you can see my scraps here, and this is what I pulled out. In fact, this might be the piece that's supposed to go here. No, it's a little too long, but we'll just cut it. So this piece, all these strips are 1 by 4 1/2. Whoops, that's not it. I'll have this one. I think it's 1 though. No, it's not even 1. So let's get it at 1. I thought that was just going to be the right piece, but got to do a little trimming on it. And these do have to all be the right size, or they won't fit on your petal pink the way they're supposed to. And then 4 1/2. It is 4 1/2, so we're good that way. Okay. All right. You know, sometimes you just have to take a detour. we'll go ahead and put this down here. Doesn't look right, but I think it's right. All right, so let's go ahead and, you know what I do when I'm doing strips like this, so that I'm sure they're even, is I put the 2 outside pieces on first. So I'm gonna put this one on, and I'm just looking to equidistance from the top and the bottom and the left side. Okay, then I'm gonna take that petal pink one we just cut, and I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Just line it up. That's not straight. Don't you hate that when you've already glued it down and you think you've looked at it and you think that's right, and then I tore my paper. That's okay. It's going to be covered up. I'm going to put a little more adhesive on this since I pulled it up. Okay. Then I'm going to line this back up evenly between the top and the bottom and the side. Gosh, I cannot get this paper laid down. Do you ever do that where you're like, this just isn't going, this isn't lining up? Okay, now we're gonna get it. I think that looks pretty good. Then I'll take my last piece and we'll go down the middle. And then I know that this space is gonna be the same. And I can line this up like so. Now you could change these dimensions, obviously. If you've got scraps a certain size, you can always change this up. But that's what I used. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some ribbon on here. So for this one, I used the Pool Party Grosgrain, I think it's called. It just says Pool Party, but it's kind of like a grosgrain. Gonna pull it around here. We'll make a bow. So again, this class is free. You get all the products I made in this class for a $35 order using this host code, or I did put a link in the comments, and on YouTube it'll be in the product description or the video description. So you make sure to get on this host code, because this host code is tied to this class. So, and you'll get all the supplies for a $35 order. For a $50 order, if you just tuned in, you might not have heard me say with a $50 order, you get all the supplies, the PDF tutorial of Sale-a-bration product, and if you go all the way to $75, you also get the adhesive-backed gems that we're working with today. Okay, let's go ahead and get this down on our... Again, this is not one that takes a long time. I took a little longer to line up my strips of paper, but that's just because I got them crooked to begin with. Okay, we've got that. Then I've already punched with the heart punch. So this is a different heart punch. These two punches are a bundle. They come together, and I think they're just called heart punch bundle. And so I used the plain one, not the scalloped one, and I'm going to just go ahead and stamp the greeting on this, and this one is going to say, I love that we are friends. I'm going to use for this one Balmy Blue. Red border. You like the red border, Kathy? Oh, Kelly, you ordered that half page die cut? I don't remember. You must have. I did put in quite a few orders after my last event. Yours was one of them. Okay, I love that we are friends in Balmy Blue. So this is not necessarily Valentine's. So the 4-week series of Celebrate Love cards are going to be centered around, loving others, sending love in a card, sending a hug in a card, or a little gift. We're going to do a gift each week too. Before I go on, let me go ahead and punch this. So this is the new shimmer paper. This, you guys, I did not appreciate the beauty of this until I got it in person. So it's fresh freesia. I think this is supposed to be soft succulent, but it works with the pool party. So I'm using, or I guess I'm using gold today. But I could have used this one, but I'm using the gold. Aren't they pretty? And you get 2 of each of those. And that is in the new January through April mini catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and punch this now with the scalloped heart in that punch set. And then we're going to, let's see, what else do I need? I think I need one more little heart. This time we're going to stamp the heart. So I'm going to grab Petal Pink ink. Red border. Okay, great. Looks like red border. I thought so too. I thought after I looked at that card, really I just need the bottom heart here. I don't really need the top one. After I looked at that card on my photos, I thought, I think it needed a red border. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this, excuse me, in Petal Pink, and then we'll grab back our punch, and we'll go, whoops, this way, whoops, this way. Gosh, Joey, can't, I'm trying to hurry so I'm not holding you on too long, and of course I didn't get that. I chose a small strip of paper thinking that that would be a good way to not have to do that extra cut to get it in the punch, but apparently the angle I was at, gosh, you guys, the angle is just wrong for the punch. But that's okay. We've all done that where we've had to cut things away. But were I going to do more of these, I would do that one, and then I would look, I would stamp the rest of these at that angle. Does that make sense? So that I didn't have to cut away the paper like I did just now. So we're going to, oh, and this one I actually stamped the leaves too. So let's go to our Mint Macaron ink. Let me grab that. And we'll stamp that on the same scrap paper. Now, again, I do want to look at my punch. So look at your punch and see which way it goes. So on this punch, the leaves go up. Makes sense? So I'm going to stamp this. Let me get in the picture. Stamp this with the leaves going up. And that's not very good because it looks like for this I need my Stampin' Pierce mat. That's really a hot mess. Sorry about that. I did a lot of stamping of swap cards and I was late getting my Christmas cards out. That's much better. So when you don't have a good image on a photopolymer stamp, this wouldn't happen with rubber, but it does happen sometimes with photopolymer. Just get out your Stampin' Pierce mat. These are not very expensive. Add it to your next order if you don't have one because they're worth having. Now we'll go ahead and punch out the leaves. There we go. Okay. Then let's go ahead and assemble the rest of our card. So we're going to kind of angle this heart like this. So I'm going to grab the mini glue dots. So next week and the next 3 weeks, I'll be doing this series on love-themed cards on my Facebook at the same time. It'll be 12:30 Central Time. This didn't punch the best. So I'm going to just trim this off a little bit. Sometimes that happens on your punch. There we go. So I hope you can join me. I'm going to assemble all this here. Where'd my other leaf go? There we go. And this time I'm going to put these little leaves on the little heart instead of the big one or the greeting. Let's go, let's see. Here And then we'll put these together like so. I think I want them to go this way. Okay, then I'm going to grab put another mini glue dot. This time I'm going to use my tool so I don't pull those two leaves apart from each other. And then we'll put these on, kind of going to the side of this little heart like this. This is going to go kind of like here on our card. Like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll adhere this to our lost my glue dots, or I mean my dimensionals. I just saw them. Well, we'll just take some minis, they'll work. Then I'm going to kind of, with my dimensionals, I'm going to kind of glue those, adhere the leaves to the heart a little more, give it a little more stability. Then we're going to come down here like this. This is as I said, this could be a fairly quick card. I fooled around with my, and actually, that'll be okay. I think that's what we'll do. I'm going to look further here for my dimensionals because I need my bigger ones. I don't want those little ones. Let me find them. Let me grab. Well, here's a sheet of edges that I'm using up, so I'm going to grab those so I have a little bit more to use here. Do you ever have something in your hands and 5 minutes later you can't find it? Oh, it drives me crazy. What I usually do for that is I just start cleaning up my desk. I just start gathering things together and then it turns up and then I find out what I did with it. Okay, then we're going to just put this little guy. Doesn't that gold heart just make this card? I love that we are friends. I don't like the way this heart is. I'm going to grab another piece of this strip. And I don't like the way the bottom of this heart is sticking up. So I'm going to just, can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to just get a little bit more of a adhesive there. So that's where it is. So it holds that heart there. Much better. I just don't like things flying around. Okay, let's get on this one. And for this one, we'll use either gold or blue. I don't know. The gold, maybe we need gold. What do you think, guys? You want gold or blue on here? We've got blue ink, but we've got the gold heart. So let me just show you what our choices are. Grab that. I'm not going to push this down. I'm just going to like put it up here. So here's what gold would be. And then here's what blue. We'll put it over here. Here's what blue would be. What do you think? Gold or blue? So type in the comments which one you like. And while you're doing that, I'm going to gather all the projects that we made and get them ready to show everything that we did today. They'll probably all fit in the camera. Gold, blue, gold, blue. We're even. Somebody break the tie. Barb, gold. Yeah, Cheryl, I knew you meant gold. I counted you as gold. It sounds like the golds have it. So let's go ahead and put on gold. I like gold too. On my sample, I did gold. So let's put one there and maybe another little one. So these these gems, or sequins, the big ones are on one sheet and the little ones or on another sheet. That's a little bit different than we normally have them. So they're fine. I mean, everything works fine, but just so you know, that's how they come. Put a little one here. I love that card. It's just really sweet, and it's oh, so I used hearts, but it isn't Valentine's Day. Now you could send this for Valentine's Day, but I didn't use traditional Valentine colors on it, which is what I'm going to do the next few weeks. The closer we get to Valentine's Day, the less Valentine-ish our projects will be. What's your favorite one out of these? I'll just put one of each because I think we're going to run out of room. So the treat holder, so we'll call this the treat holder. We'll call this the fun fold card. We'll call this the scallop card, or we'll call this the gold heart card. So which is your favorite? The treat holder, the fun fold, the scallop card, or the gold? We'll just call it gold. Did I say that already? Fun fold. Oh, Mary, you wanted two gold and a blue. I didn't see that. Well, let's see. Let's see. We can maybe add blue, a little blue to this. Let's see what that looks like. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think I would switch out this one. And I put this down here. Be blue, and then I think I would take a large blue one. Gold heart, gold heart. Oh, lots of you like the gold heart. I like the gold heart too. Maybe here. So there's a mix of the gold and blue. Here's just the gold. They're both pretty. They're beautiful. I think anybody would like to get those cards. All right. You'll use the treat holder. Oh, Kathy, you like the scalloped one. Okay. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. Diane, the gold heart, scalloped, and treat. Christy likes that. Tiffany is voting for the scallop card. I'm glad you guys like that one. That's so nice because, you know, that was just trying to help us out after we saw that other one that we really liked. We saw this one. And I wanted to make it for you, and I just didn't have the die. So I thought, well, what about the scallop? So I'm so happy you like it. I think I probably should send a photo to Heather Guerrero and say, hey, I made your card on Facebook. Okay, this is the first one. So this is the Country Bouquet class. And I'll have 4. So we'll do 4 weeks in a row of love-themed cards. Some will be Valentine's. As closer we get, as I said, most won't be. But they'll all be using products that you can show someone that you love them and send our care through the mail in a card or little treat boxes that you're handing out. So thanks so much for joining me. I just love having your company. And Kathy Viverka says her favorite is the scalloped and then the gold. I know. I love it. I had lots of fun with all these cards. All right, my friends, so happy you joined me today, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.